Hello, everybody. How you doing? My name's Steven. You already know who I am and why I'm here. Sorry about that. But I'm going to tell you the story of what happened to Erica, sweet Erica, on our flight back, or supposedly supposed to be a 13-hour flight back to Grizzly Claw Lodge from Alaska, the Arctic Alaska summer. It still was unduly cold. But yeah, it's time for me to share my story of what I think and believed happened in order of events that did happen to sweet Erica. Because unfortunately, she had to be the next to go, right? It's just how the game is. She's next on the chopping block. It be what that be. Now, this case was certainly complex, convoluted, getting you in all different directions, some red herrings probably, and other things, and this things, and other this and other things, right? That's gonna be my word of the day today, or phrase the day. Other things, because there's so many other things, so many interesting facts in this case that got me before the function muy interesante. That's for sure. But with anything, we start with any story. We start with the beginning, and that was simply the puppet master's orders to the killer saying that Erica is next to the chopping block. Erica is next to be eliminated. We board the puppet master's jet, personal jet, saying to get on there without asking any questions. Just get in my jet, and we're gonna go. Going back to the cabin and go from there. With cabin at the controls and the staff being flight attendants. The plane takes off from the Alaskan sun. Then, during the flight, everyone begins falling asleep as the jet flies south. While everyone except the killer. The killer's awake. Everybody, we're all asleep. We had a long day. We finished up solving a case. The people that are spared can sleep peacefully. The ones that are scared just want to sleep to get to the lodge as quick as possible. Hopefully wake up and not just survive, but make it there to the lodge, and then worry about stuff when they arrive back at the lodge. At least that's what they thought. But now we're into the flight. A lot of bang rings out in the cabin, bang, and that being a nice cabin, because as the flight itinerary shows, at 20:21 p.m. I like how this military time, as it is with any flight information. First contact with Missoula. ETA 002 requesting weather forecast. 2030 landing forecast is for you to arrive at 2030 PST passed. It's passed. Then we have 2100 cruising altitude reaching 30,000 feet. But as everybody's sleeping, and as these events are happening from the flight data information that I myself found, the killer was already doing things, planning things, because what was in his suitcase, they're in first class, or they're in a seat, was a loaded gun with a silencer, black hoodie, leather gloves, black pants, then sunglasses in the black pants, or at least were found tucked in the black pants in the end, or after, while in that advantage in investigating that area. So while everybody's asleep, the killer is prepping everything that needs to be done to be prepped for this murder. And the sunglasses being like night vision sunglasses. Because this flight is in the evening, though there are lights on, but if everybody's asleep, everybody's lights are off. And though you may not need UV lights or sunglasses, they're twofold. To be able to see where you're going around and kind of doing it stealthily. A little apparatus on it as well, like a scope and shoot. Carry around his gun with the silencer, wearing the black gloves, the black hoodie. I mean, this is like Riverdale. the black hood. I'll keep saying that. And the black pants, dressed for success in a sense for him or her. But getting everything set and ready to go by using or having set up underneath the seat of where Erica was, having this tank like a compound. And that had inside of it carfentanil. Carfentanil that will be going to all of the seats. That will be dispersed to everybody after the killer shoots out into the window with the gun and the silencer. Because the killer does not need to shoot Erica with a silencer and any tranquilizer because Erica's asleep. But also taping with the tape, taping up her arms to the seats and strapping her in there. And after the air pressure, because at 21:12 the cockpit door is activated. That's when he comes in, gives the note to Gavin, right? That says to Gavin, your instructions: do not disturb the flight controls after we ascend to a cruising altitude. When the aircraft is depressurized, you will say over the intercom, house guests, please put on your emergency oxygen mask and get into the brace position. Secure your oxygen mask to your mouth and wait until midnight to prepare the aircraft from landing. Again, the note to so that was given to Sylvia, and then Sylvia left. Not Sylvia, but Sophie left. The maid gave the note to Gavin. That's when the cockpit door was activated. Then the back and forth at 21:12:30. Sir, this was given to me by a house guest. Please read it. 21:12:41. All right. Good night, Sophie. That's when, right? Cockpit door opened. The conversation is going on. He's reading the note, and as he's reading the note, he's saying, "Oh God." At 21:13:35. And then at 21:14:47, and I quote 7:27, requesting assistance. We are climbing and I don't know how. We're climbing and I don't know how is because the plane is being taken over by the killer using some kind of device. A cell phone app, a computer. It also could have been and was after everything happened, stashed away underneath the seat of Erica's. Because at 21:15, the altitude reading is at 35,000 feet. It was at 30,000 feet, the cruising altitude, but was raised when the killer took over the controls and took it from there. Because remember, the note saying, don't disturb the flight controls after we ascend to the cruising altitude. Already also letting him know that when the aircraft is pressurized, like letting him already know if someone's going to be going down, obviously. Then at 21:21, major depressurization detected, oxygen masks deployed. So at 21:21, that's when the killer, being all stealthy, being all 007 up in here on a mother flipping plane where there are no snakes, shoots out the window, and boom, depressurization from there. Started outside, temperature going out, everything changing because of that instinct. So there's three factors in play when that depressurize happens. We have oxygen, we have air quality in general, and we have temperature as an actual temperature within the cabin on the plane. So with all that going down, while we all are putting our masks on, we all are getting with the carfentanil or carfentanil. Thank you. Sorry, I kind of butchered that. Carfentanil that knocks us back out, because then that's when Erica is finished off. because of the combination of carbon monoxide and carpentanol, along with losing oxygen, which is why she's shaking and she's reacting to it, trying to get out of here, losing her breath, trying to gasp for air, struggling, kind of a long drawn out death. I mean, longer than one would want to. Whether it was just carpentanol or with that combined with CO2, either way, that tank that was to go to all of us, because in the end we all were, because with us, when we woke up, we had foam in our mouth as well. But Sophie was the one with the nasal spray, naloxone, the reversing effects, the cure, woke us up. But as for Erica, she died of hypoxia, the losing of oxygen. And as for Emotion, was causing loss of breath, rapid heartbeat, and otherwise. But here in this situation, breath. The killer then goes into the laboratory and throws the duct tape away, disposing of that piece of evidence. At 21:21:15, house guys, please put on your oxygen mask and get to brace position. 21:23:15, 727 requesting to specify what the issue is. So 21:24:10 to 727, do you copy? No one's answering. No one's answering. 21:30, altitude reading is at 10,000 feet. At midnight 19, 727 requesting permission to land. 727, you're not authorized to land. Please divert. But we kind of have to land somewhere. Because at 0023, at 12:23 a.m., 23 minutes after midnight, altitude reading is at 0. Emergency landing in somewhere, somehow, wherever we are. And that, my friends, is almost the rest of the story. We're not quite done. Because with the house guests awaking, with that oxygen being sprayed into our nose, we come to. And we realize that someone has taken off their oxygen mask. Because the killer itself had his own handy-dandy portable oxygen mask. They open eyes to familiar leaning over them. It's Sophie, one of the lodge maids. Adam looks around and locks eyes with Ross. Rebecca glances over to see Billy next to her. Lizette spots John across the aisle from her. Sarah sees me, Stephen, in a row ahead of her. Ryan sees Ethan wiping away foam at his mouth, and everyone turns their heads to see Lindsay also wiping away some foam from her mouth, saying, "What is this? I don't drool in my sleep," she says. But everyone touched their lips and realized they've been drooling too because of that being the effects of the carcinogen. And then I say, Steven says, "Hey guys, is that?" Pointing to the road ahead, pointing to where Erica is sitting or was seated. And that's where we find Erica slumped over in her chair with the oxygen mask still on her. Still on. Be her. Gavin does say we've made an emergency landing in a rural airstrip outside of Missoula. It seems as though our killer has taken Miss Erica's breath away. And that's going to be the end of the story. Unfortunate way to go. A devious way to go for sure in regards to the killer and puppet master and the plans. But what you wanted, right? What you wanted. And with all that, and with that, I don't know. Her body being horribly discolored, her veins looking blue, her skin was splotchy and cherry red and blue all over, her eyes being bloodshot and glazed over, and her right eyeball sticking out of the socket. Again, the pressure, the oxygen, everything just. Now remember the clue: sleep tight, sleep tight. Like get it right, get it tight. From WB Xavier Woods and the New Day. Tight, squeezing her, unless taking the breath away, the oxygen in her body. And that being so, squeezing is why what happened with your eye. With her fingertips and right hand also being tipped purple. Her wrist having the sticky stuff around, sticky covering both of it. Her forehead and skin being ice cold. Combination of things. Good weather, temperature, the temperature decreasing, air pressure there decreasing, oxygen being losing from the body. All of that in a whirlwind. Whether carbon dioxide was part of it or not, I do believe so that could be the case. But even if it was just carbon, carnitine, you know what I mean. That is what did her in hypoxia being the cause of death for Erica. So, Puppet Master Killer, you guys are very interesting. And this time I'm gonna change up who I think it is because some just led me to believe something else. Maybe not. Who knows? Because that would be the rest of the story. So I'm gonna stick to what I stick to. The killer being William and the puppet master being Rebecca. You guys are playing an interesting game. You smart aleck, joking, son of a guns. But I do respect you as people. But here in this game, in this universe, you guys are 6 bitches. I'm coming for you. And that is the bottom line. That's yeah, like I said, the duct tape being thrown in the garbage can in the laboratory. Also, one of the being cut as well, so not to get the oxygen. Um, and all in all, what a tangle web you did weave. But I know who you are, and I'm coming for you. That's for sure. Never heard of hypoxia. I learned something new. But you know where else you're gonna learn? Is that Steven's not dumb either. It's time to get things started. Time to lock and load. Rebecca, Billiam, I'm coming. It's time to play the game. I know how to play the game. Are you guys ready to be caught? No, I have to say now. Run.